figured out last night that Michael has to sigh every
Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes because he's so powerful that if he doesn't, he'll just explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to start off this episode, I think I should read you guys a little passage. So we're just gonna open up. Be not envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them, for their hearts devise violence, and their lips talk of trouble.
That actually goes with the movie.
Dude, I just read... Dude, what is happening? Okay, I just opened randomly to Proverbs 24:1 and read... I think that's how you... I don't know my Bible too good.
I have no
I'm pretty
clue.
sure it was... it was Proverbs 24:1. And that, like, literally is the movie we just watched.
That embodies the movie. Like,
Can I bookmark this?
I didn't watch
That
the
was
movie,
insane.
But, yep.
what the heck? Dude, that's insane.
Amen.
That's
Dude, I'm, like, genuinely, like...
Should we start a church?
Yes.
Should we start a church?
I've actually talked to Ian about it a lot.
And Michael wants to start a cult with homeless people downtown.
A cult with homeless people downtown?
Yeah. Okay, so that was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me is picking that verse. But this week we watched I Saw the Devil. Dude, what am I doing? I got it in for everyone. Okay, Michael's here. You know that. Whatever.
Welcome to the Extended Cut podcast.
You better put that verse in. It's
I will.
Genuinely amazing.
No, I will. That's like... Are you haunted? Is there ghosts?
Dude, I really
it's not a ghost. That's
you
a
saw
blessing.
me. I flipped to a random page and just read the first thing that popped out of me.
It's a blessing, man. It's telling you to stay away from degenerates, man. It's spitting straight facts.
It's telling you not to want to be like evil men.
Don't be like an evil man, because that's evil.
But that was literally the movie we watched this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
we'll explain to you in a second.
It, but that was kind of freaky how like accurate it was.
I got chills.
It's like Freaky Friday, but freakier.
We got Ricky. He loves Freaky Friday. You know how it is.
Oh, I love freaky on Fridays.
All right, welcome back to the Extended Cut podcast. Today we're joined by Ricky Clemmer, Michael Walter,
Clemmer, and
Ian
Clemmer,
Haley.
Ian Haley.
Ian Walter. Who gets my last name?
So we want to dox Michael.
No.
Yeah, let's dox Michael. So Michael's
He lives
address...
at 408 Negro Arroyo Lane. This is Walter Hartwell White. I live at 308 Negro Arroyo Lane. To all law enforcement agencies, this is not an admission of guilt. I'm speaking to my family now. Skylar, you are the love of my life. Walter Jr., you're my big man.
What?
That's the intro to Breaking Bad.
Here's the intro to Breaking Brad. I'm Brad, and I'm Brad Breaking Point. Is that how Breaking Brad goes? What did they do to my friend Brad? Was it Brad Leiber?
Yeah.
Brad Leiber the goat. I missed you, buddy. I miss you, bud.
So this week we have Ricky again.
Welcome back.
Technically, or wait, no, this episode's coming out 2 weeks after the last one with Ricky, right?
Yeah.
This is sort of like when...
Well, yes.
So Ricky is no longer sick as a dog, which is great. How you feeling, buddy?
I feel pretty fantastic. I mean, there's nowhere I'd rather be than right here with the boys talking about a movie I've never seen.
And you're not going
and I'm not going to watch.
Because it sounds bad.
Because it sounds like a scary movie full of sinners.
This movie was genuinely the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, in terms of, like, did not want to see it. Like
graphic. It's the most graphic thing you've ever seen.
I did not want to see it.
Don't say it's the worst thing. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie that I did not want to see.
It's a good movie you didn't know
this
you
week,
wanted to see.
We saw, say it all together, boys.
I Saw the Devil. Which is a Korean movie made by... We're going to be...
A Korean person.
I'm not going to pronounce any Korean names because I am too white, so that's on you, Michael.
Yeah, I'll take it. But I Saw the Devil is a Korean thriller made in 2010 by the acclaimed director Kim Jee-won.
Okay, so the movie was about this person who saw the devil, and it was really violent.
Yeah, so here's a quick plot synopsis. So there's a guy who is a horrible person. He's the guy...
Let me give the plot synopsis, okay? I've got this. Because Ian's going to make it sound horrible. Ricky doesn't know what it is.
It is horrible.
I Saw the Devil is a film about a guy whose wife was murdered by a serial killer. And the serial killer, hence the serial part of it, he's been a killer. He
loves to eat cereal.
He loves to eat
sugar.
Toast Crunch.
I love sugar. Anyways.
But his wife is killed by a serial killer. So what does this beautiful man do? The guy's played by Lee Byung-hun. The serial killer's played by Choi Min-sik, who's in Old Boy, which is a really good movie.
Old Boy is good.
Old Boy is
2013,
good.
right?
Shut up,
The
dude.
American version of Old
Are
Boy.
you
is better than the
serious?
Korean
Stop.
version. Don't listen to Michael.
This is so dumb.
Continue
You are
continue the
hurting me.
plot synopsis. Continue the
Stop!
plot
You're
synopsis.
hurting me.
The thing is Lee Byung-hun ain't no normal person, I guess. I think he has to do with, like, he's in a government agency
He looks
or
like
something.
he's in the Secret Service. That's
Yeah,
what
he
I
looks
picked
like
up on.
he looks like he's like a federal agent for Korea or something like that. Like Secret Service, something.
Because we see later that he's like super well trained. He like knows how to fight like really well.
No, it's very action packed. But I'll get into that later. But yeah, he's definitely got some sort of like military training, or everybody in Korea has military training.
I think so. Yeah.
It's mandatory that every
Is it really?
every
Korea?
Korean man has to serve in the military.
I didn't know that about Korea.
I didn't either.
Now, are we talking North or South Korea?
We're talking South.
We're talking, yeah. I don't think you can get any movies from North Korea. I don't even know if North Korea has TVs.
North Korea they don't actually have TVs. They have everyone has VR headsets, and they're forced on their head 24/7
to play.
And they actually live in like a monkey box.
Yeah.
And they don't even see real life. They just see VR.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
What is a monkey box?
Is it a box where they hold the monkey?
Follow-up question. Do you think that all monkeys are held in boxes?
What would happen if you
Yes.
gave a monkey VR?
Is this
Pass away.
Pass away. It's like the sequel to If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. If you give a mouse VR, and the first page is just pass away.
You give a monkey VR? Dead. Heart failure. Have you ever seen a monkey pass away from heart failure? Tragic. Just tragic.
Dude, I want a monkey so bad.
Oh, can we buy a monkey?
Can we? Okay, no. Here's the thing. I was talking to my friend Hayden about this. In our friend group, I want to literally like all invest in a goat that we just take care of that just like eats our trash, and like each week we pass it off to a different person, to like eat our cans and stuff.
I don't think they're supposed to be eating trash all day.
Dude, goats can eat anything.
That thing's gonna pass away from heart failure.
Why don't we just put money together to get a monkey?
I'd actually be down to
Can
get
you
a
actually
monkey.
buy monkeys? Like, where do you buy a monkey? Like the monkey store? Where's the zoo? Do they sell?
Monkey Town, idiot.
Oh, Monkey Town. It's like a monkey village from Bloons Tower Defense.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
where they come from?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Monkey Town is located right next to Funky Town.
So, where's Funky Monkey Town?
It's like a pyramid, right? It's like a
sweet,
triangle.
Sexy collab.
It's the Holy Trinity, you know, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Monkey Town, Funky Town, and Funky Monkey Town.
Funky Monkey Town.
But as you were saying about the military training,
Yeah, he's
he's got some really cool moves, I will say.
yeah, he's like special forces or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, his whole thing is he hunts down the serial killer
To get revenge for killing his wife.
but he doesn't kill him back. He
Yes.
just tortures him and lets him go.
Yeah.
And gives him like money, and lets him go, and then just so he can hunt him down again. And really, that's the gist of the plot synopsis. We can get deeper into
When we get into further conversation, yeah.
yeah.
But he's the whole movie, he's just hunting down this guy and just completely torturing him. And so the serial killer is just always on guard. He's always just freaking out. At any moment, this guy could just come and get him. Because the Secret Service guy, he has this like super high-tech technology that's kind of goofy. But it's this little pill that has a microphone in it, and it's a tracker. So he just forces it down the serial killer's mouth. So he just knows where he is at all times. But he can also hear him, which doesn't make any sense. But it's
It
funny.
really doesn't. Yeah. I never really thought that deep about it, but yeah, it doesn't make
Because in
any sense
reality,
at
you
all.
just be hearing stomach noises.
You'd be hearing like weird popping in the stomach
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's so hot.
But do you have any fun facts, Michael?
I actually do not have any fun facts. This is going to be our first impressions episode. And for first impressions episodes, I think it's going to be mostly about like your take on it and your reaction and stuff. We don't need to have fun facts. It's not like
Well, I have one fun fact.
you have one fun fact.
This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Don't worry, I'll show you more stuff, buddy.
Why
What?
do you do this to me?
Why?
Why? I
So
don't know.
let's go through.
Whoever made, I remember, dude, my original Letterboxd review for this movie when I first saw it was whoever made this movie was pissed. I still stand by that, but it's interesting because it's like a cat and mouse movie, you know, your typical cat and mouse thriller movie, but the like roles are reversed. So it's like it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the Halloween movies where Michael Myers is like trying to kill his niece the whole time, but it's as if Michael Myers was like trying to get away from his niece because his niece was like, "You killed my ma."
Yeah.
You know?
That's actually a really good way to put it. Yeah. It's really unique in that, but I will say, because you know this whole kind of thing with this podcast is to try to get people to watch movies. If you are like weak stomach, you don't like blood, or you're under the age of 45, do not watch this movie. This movie is horrible.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
obviously,
so
I've seen it a couple of times.
Because you are sick.
No, not... Well, this isn't like the type of movie that I watch multiple times just for fun. But I watched this movie the first time I got it. Then I watched it somewhere in between then and like last week. Then last week I watched it because we were going to watch it over at my place. But then we didn't. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch it anyways. And I watched it yesterday with you. So I've only seen this movie like 4 times. You know? Which is more than you'll ever see it, I know. But like... but still, I mean...
It's difficult, though, because it's like this I would put in the same category that I put, like, Enter the Void and Climax, in a sense, because Climax I do want to revisit, because that movie is genuinely fantastic, although it's horrifying. But Enter the Void is just straight up horrifying. I don't think I can ever watch that movie again. It's like... But they're movies that are, like, great. They're fantastic in their own...
They're very
right?
well made.
They're well made, excellently crafted stories. Like, the ideas are really solid and it was executed in a really effective manner. However, I can't sit through them ever again.
But no, this movie is like if you made Saw have like a actual story and not just this guy's dying of cancer and he doesn't like people who take life for granted.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody was like, I want to make a movie that's as gruesome and horrifying as Saw in like gore terms, but I want to make it like an emotionally charged story.
That's the other thing that's interesting about this movie is you're watching all these horrible things get done, and like I'll be honest, most of it I looked away because I cannot watch that. It disgusts me. But it's almost like well deserved in a way because this character has done so many horrible things, and it's like you kind of want he deserves it, but at the same time it really always plays on your emotions.
They always put like the horrible stuff that happens to him right before, or it's like right before they start doing horrible stuff to him. It shows him like he's about to rape a girl, or he's about to murder somebody, you know. So it's
they don't
like
make you feel
it's like
for the guy.
If they didn't show it like right when these horrible things are about to happen, it would be overkill, and you would be like, dude, we get it, he's a bad guy, stop. You know. But they always add in like the part like he's gonna go and he's telling this girl to take her clothes off, and she's like obviously not happy and scared the whole time, and then Lee Byung-hun comes in cool as ever and beats the crap out of him. Like it's awesome, you know. Like, it immediately it's justified by, like, he was about to do this horrible thing. I don't care that he got his Achilles heel cut.
But each scene kind of has this tension of, like, you know that the protagonist is, like, trying to come, like, beat this guy up. Like, you know he can pop it at any moment. And every time, you're just like, every time the serial killer is just doing something bad, you're just like, please, I hope this guy comes and, like, saves the day almost. But then he shows up, and it's brutal, and you're like, maybe I didn't want him to come, but he also saved that girl, so it's like...
It leaves you at the end, you're like, I wish he just killed him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he killed him the first time he saw him, and then...
But he wants to
other stuff would happen.
make the serial killer feel how he feels, you know, that he did this horrible thing to his wife, and it's revealed later that his wife was pregnant. No. And she like begged for her life.
It's revealed at the beginning, but it's revealed to him later that she was pregnant.
So then he goes like sicko mode and like actually starts like really hurting the serial killer guy and
right.
But I mean, let's just get into it. We'll go kind of moment by moment and ask Ian his thoughts, and Ricky, you just be Ricky. Deal?
Or no deal? Deal.
The price is right.
The price is wrong.
Shoot. But
$100, hug and a kiss. Deal or no deal?
Let's go beat for beat. Like, let's talk about certain parts of the movie and what you, like was going through your head when you saw it? Because this was Ian's first impression of the movie.
So basically, every single scene in the movie, I was thinking, ew, 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 turn it off, ew, yucky, yucky, yuckus, Michael, why do you hate me?
He did say that a lot when we were watching it. He did say, Michael, what is wrong with you?
No, I genuinely think that Michael has some...
He said it way too many times.
No, so the movie opens, and this lady, she has, what, a flat tire?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
she has a flat tire.
She's calling the tow truck.
Yeah.
She's on the phone with her boyfriend. And this
her husband.
Sorry. This creepy dude comes up and is like, but I can fix that for you. But in Korean. But I don't speak Korean, so you know how it be. And then he just like beats her to death with a hammer, and it's brutal.
Yeah. Like, the tow truck is on its way. He breaks into her car with a hammer and, like, doesn't beat her to death.
Yeah, he doesn't kill her. He drags her through the snow while she's bleeding and leaves, like, red snow. And then takes her to this, like, abandoned warehouse-looking thing and chops her up into little pieces. It's disgusting.
But no, like, he puts saran wrap over her, whatever. It's not saran wrap. It's just plastic.
Yeah.
But anyways, she's like, I'm pregnant. Please don't kill me. Yada, yada, yada.
And he just stabs her right in, like, the face.
Yeah. Like, chops her arm off or something.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So nasty.
It's pretty nasty. But the thing is when he was getting rid of the body parts, her wedding ring fell off and, like, got stuck somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, he knew it was the serial killer to begin with at the beginning of the movie. Later in the movie, it shows him. Work. Yeah, later in the movie, it shows the husband finding the ring when he's, like, investigating the killer's house.
Uh-huh.
And then he acts like it's this big revelation, like, oh, God, it was a serial killer. But it's like, yeah, you like, literally beat the crap out of 2 people before getting to this guy's house. I'm pretty sure you were betting on it being the serial killer.
Yeah.
Unless he does that for every case he's, like, involved in.
That's
just
true.
beats people. But that doesn't work either, because there's this one scene that's actually, it's not funny. It's actually really gross, but there's this one scene where there's, like, 4 suspects for the serial killer mumbo jumbo, you know?
Uh-huh.
So he goes to the first suspect, and the first suspect's watching porn. So the guy unplugs his computer and then beats him with the wire.
Have you seen, I think it's the second Jason Bourne, where he beats the guy with the toaster?
No.
That's like the best scene. They're like fighting in the kitchen, and he rolls up like a magazine. He's like hitting the guy in the face, and then I think he unplugs the toaster and he just starts hitting him with the toaster.
That would do some damage, honestly.
It was funny.
But
yeah, so he beats the guy with the wire.
He beats the guy with the wire, then ties him up and whatnot, and he shows the guy, like, pictures of the crime scene.
Okay.
The guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So he gets a wrench and he bashes the dude's nuts in.
Doesn't he turn himself into the cops the next morning too?
Yeah, and the guy turns himself into
even though
into
he didn't
the police,
even do it.
even though he didn't do it, so he can be in prison.
Get away from him.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Because he was guilty of, like, somebody.
Yeah, he did do some bad
so he was
stuff.
a bad person anyways.
Yeah. And then the second guy, the dude hits him with his car, and then just beats him up. And then looks at a picture of him. I guess he's like, oh, it's the wrong guy or whatever. And just, like, walks away.
So wholesome.
It's, but, no, I mean, he beat up 2 people on his way. Like, not even just beat up. Like, he beat up 2 people on his way to getting to this third guy's house.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they made it such a big revelation that the wedding ring was there.
Yeah.
You know? Another thing that I don't really like is the fact that how they figure out that there was a murder in the first place is they show that little kid and he finds that black bag with the ear in it.
Yeah.
Why did the serial killer just leave a black bag with an ear in it?
That bothered me too. And he, like, leaves the head in, like, a river that's, like, clearly visible by, like, the highway.
Yeah. Technically, it's not a good movie. But it's a very gruesome movie, but it's better than all the gruesome movies we have in America.
Well, I think it's also interesting, the idea of, like you said when we watched it, like, 40 minutes in, there's, like basically, like, a final confrontation scene. Like, in a regular movie, the whole movie would be him hunting down the serial killer. And then at the end of the movie, there's, like, this big fight scene. But in this movie, it's, like, 30 minutes in, he already catches up to, like, the serial killer. And he beats him up and, like,
he's about to kill him.
Yeah.
But then he changes his mind, breaks his hand, and then, like, feeds him that
tracker
pill thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, it's like this. So then, like, it kind of leaves the viewer with this, like, weird sense of, like, uh-oh, now what's gonna happen? Because the movie's, like, 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
And when he, it's revealed that the serial killer guy, like, his day job is he's a school bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
So he kidnaps this little girl off the bus. He's about to, like, rape her. And that's when we first, like, that's when Lee Byung-hun catches up to him for the first time and beats the life out of him.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, like it justifies the fact that Lee Byung-hun is doing all this horrible stuff to him, because literally, like, if Lee Byung-hun didn't show up, he would have raped and murdered a 13-year-old. You know, like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But no,
but yeah, it's cool because it's like the whole movie is him hunting down the serial killer, which isn't really like a common thing you'd see.
I think that's actually like an interesting...
It is a really interesting idea, and I think that's what makes the movie good. But can I kind of jump like way ahead and talk about probably my favorite scene?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a scene where I don't remember what happens right before it, but I think he just got beat up really bad by the main character. So he's like stumbling down the highway trying to get a ride, and this taxi picks him up.
That's not way ahead. That's actually like the next part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the taxi driver has another guy in the back seat. And the guy's like, oh, I'm so lucky, 2 rides in one night. And there's this whole thing. And the camera pans, like, how those taxi drivers have to have, like, a photo ID of them, like, on the dashboard. And it's not the driver. So it's like these guys, like, stole the taxi and are trying to pick up people to kill. Yeah. But they just picked up the wrong guy because this guy's, like, a mega killer.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it's just, like, this whole fight scene in the car. And it's pretty cool. They're just, like, stabbing each other. It's pretty brutal.
It's an insane fight scene. But I like the line where he's like, you said that we're both lucky, right? He's like, yeah, so? He's like, seems to me you're very unlucky. And he starts stabbing them.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of it. We talked about it. It reminds us of Watchmen, where he's like, I'm not locked in here with you.
You're
he
locked
like
in here
deep
with
fries
me.
that guy's head or whatever.
What the?
He's like, you're locked in here with me. I love that so much. But I hate the serial killer in this movie. Like, they do a good job at making you hate this guy.
Yeah, he's a horrible human.
Horrible person.
I think what is it, the dad of the girl, or is it like the police detective? I don't remember who, but someone says like, stuff like this makes me regret being human or something like that.
Yeah.
There was an interesting way it was phrased, though, that it kind of had like a purpose.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that part, because that's where the cannibals are introduced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, after he kills the taxi people, like, he goes to the trunk of the car to look for a change of clothes, and there's a dead body in the trunk of the car, which is the original taxi driver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it really shows, dang, all these people suck.
Yeah.
All these people are horrible. But after he gets that change of clothes, he goes to a doctor. And the doctor part's stupid, because the doctor's, like, ridiculing him for breaking his hand playing soccer because he's wearing, like, a soccer uniform. Like, that was the change of clothes. And then he, like, literally gets, like, this close to, like, killing the doctor when the receptionist walks in. The doctor's receptionist walks in and is like, oh, come to the pharmacy and pick up your pills. So he flirts with the receptionist and then finally leaves because the receptionist was, like, super uncomfortable. But when she goes into the back room to take a break, he's in the back room. He's telling her to take off her clothes and stuff like that. And, like, it's, like, really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then, Lee Byung-hun, he
the
comes
hero.
in, saves the day, and beats up the guy. And the receptionist's about to leave. He's like, no, stay here. He's going to need medical attention.
That's funny.
I love that so much.
Dude, I don't understand why he doesn't just kill the serial killer. He's just trying to make his life hell.
Yeah, pretty much, because he killed his wife. Yeah. And then he finds out later, like I said earlier, that his wife was pregnant when she was murdered, and that just makes him go crazier.
Because, I mean, like, think about it. Dude, he knows that the serial killer is out here killing even more people. Like, yeah, he wants to torture him, but, I mean, he should, like, realize that there's other people... like, getting devastated by the serial killer. So it's like, dude, just finish the guy off.
Yeah, I mean, well, he
he
saves the day for them, but at the same time, like, that's a traumatic experience for that receptionist.
Yeah,
that's
like,
something that... Girl
I was going to say, he does... Because it's interesting.
Well, the schoolgirl part, that was before he started playing around with the idea of... that was just when he found him, to begin with.
Oh, okay.
So, like, and he was about to kill the guy.
Yeah, I'd say every time he saves the day, it's when it's, like, someone innocent. But, like, whenever, like, he's killing... Like, the scene where he kills, like, the evil people in the taxi, he doesn't save the day there. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and he was listening to it.
He lets him kill, like, But that's
the
other
plot
killers.
hole, dude. That's another plot hole. Because how did Lee Byung-hun know those guys were serial killers?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. There's a lot of plot holes in this movie, but it's still very well made.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun movie in the aspect where when there's action, it's really action-packed.
Insane.
Like, that's a cool thing that I love about Korean movies, is they're very genre blending, you know? So, like, this movie is, like, spooky and really gross and disgusting, but at the same time, fight scenes are, like, intense. Like, they're, like, super well choreographed and stuff like that. There is one fight scene, though. I can't remember which one it was, but the amount of shots they did was kind of annoying.
I think my favorite one was the first one where he has that... It's not a scythe. What is that thing? It's, like, curved.
I think it's a scythe.
It looks like a question
sickle.
mark. A sickle. And he, like, wraps it around the guy's neck, like right here. It's really cool.
He like, could kill him, but he doesn't. But anyways, when the receptionist lady's getting harassed by him, he cuts his Achilles tendon so he can't walk
him right in
that well.
So now he has a bad arm and a bad leg.
Well, you didn't look. I told you didn't look, but he stabs him and then pulls it out. So like his Achilles tendon is just screwed.
Dude, how do you guys watch that crap, dude?
That's why I look
The first time I watched it, I was like Ian, like it was freaky. Anyways, the serial killer guy finds his way to his friend's house, but his friend and his friend's wife, they're serial killers as well. They're cannibals too. So what did you think about that whole scenario?
It was disgusting because they're just sitting there eating dinner, and then the main serial killer guy,
he's like eating fish and
and he's scoping
food.
it down, and you think that they're eating normal food too, and then they start talking about it. He's like, how can you eat that stuff? He's like, once you have human meat, you can't go back to any other meat. And he's like eating it, and it's like Michael said something interesting. It's like they're not eating just like straight up meat. They're actually like cooking dishes out of it. Like it's disgusting. Like they're like, it was so graphic.
Yeah.
And you can tell like they're like going crazy by it, which I think is actually how it works. That you can go crazy if you eat human meat. But what was interesting is I've actually heard this before is that human meat is actually like addictive.
Yeah. Ian was telling me yesterday that Mr. Norton, of all people, explained to him that human meat is addictive, and that's why some... it's addictive because it tastes like pork, and that's why some religions don't allow
in theory,
pork.
I don't know too much information.
Yeah. In theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From my knowledge.
But no, like, that's a very messed up scene in it of
yeah,
itself,
and like there's
too.
one part of that scene where like he decides he wants like a certain part of the meat that they don't have, so he goes to like this room and he just has this girl locked up, just like waiting to be like chopped, and he can like, eat parts of her. But it almost looked like he was gonna just take like he wanted guts or something. It almost looked like he was just gonna take the part and like leave her alive for like to keep her fresh. It was like disgusting. Like it didn't look like he was gonna kill her.
Because he was like, if you keep like making noise, it's not gonna go as quickly. And he's like, I'll kill you, and I'll make it quick if you just shut up. Like that's it was disgusting.
So did he kill her?
No,
because the hero
Lee
comes in.
Byung-hun comes in, saves the day,
and he saves the chick from the.
Dude, that was the other thing that was cool. Is so the serial killer, the main guy, still in the house after he like beats up and almost kills the cannibals, and so the serial killer's kind of like sneaking around the house. I think he has a shotgun. He's trying to kill the main character, and the main character finds these fish hooks and he throws them on the ground. And so the serial killer is walking through. It's like a Scooby-Doo cartoon, and he steps on them. And no, it's just like so. That would be horrible and painful. But like he has one foot that's bad already, and now he's stepped on fishing fishing hooks. It's so.
No, but no. So he saves the girl from being eaten. Then he stabs, it's really messed up, he stabs the cannibal guy with a screwdriver. So the cannibal guy's trying to take the screwdriver out, and he pulls the head of the screwdriver off.
But the metal's still in. The plastic part pops off. It's disgusting.
So he has to get his hand out by like lifting it through the metal. It's you can't see it, but Ricky's over here breathing in pain right now. I love it.
And what's so horrible about it is hearing about it is gross, but seeing it is like so much worse.
That is so disgusting, bro. Literally, I can't like if there's like one if there's even just like a little bit of blood in a movie, dude, it just disgusts me. Like,
yeah, I'm the same way. And Michael made me watch this piece of garbage.
Dude,
it's so not a piece of garbage. It's
like it's an interesting plot
good
point,
movie.
and like hearing about the basic plot is like interesting, but like hell no, dude. Like honestly, like I wouldn't watch this even if I was paid like $100, dude. Like that is so disgusting.
The gorgeous wife comes in though. Next, the gorgeous wife comes in. And
she tries to fight him, right?
She tries to fight him. He just Chris Rock 1-2s her.
Yeah,
she's out.
Boom. She's done.
Just punch. The thing that I don't get is they both get hospitalized at the same place. So it's like, dude, the cannibal guy dude had like horrible stuff done to him. And the wife just got punched twice. And they're sitting in hospital beds next to each other. It's so whack. But then the fishing hook scene happens, and he takes a metal pipe. The good guy takes a metal pipe and goes to the serial killer and like keeps hitting him over the head with it. And it's like you can tell at that point he's even more upset. I don't know, no, that's not when he said she was pregnant yet.
No, that was later, I believe. No, that's
over the phone.
That's because he takes out. That's like right before he takes out the pill.
Yeah, you're right. That's a really disgusting scene. That got to me, and Ian thought I was a crazy person.
Yeah, he figures out that there's a tracker in him, so he poops it out, and he digs through it, and it's disgusting. And that's what Michael found the most gross about the movie, which it is disgusting, but is nowhere near as bad as someone getting their head chopped off and all that garbage.
I've seen this movie 4 times. The first time I watched it, I was just like you, Ian. This was my 4th, 5th time watching it, so like, it's not as spooky.
We should be really concerned about Alex Tong, because he said this is his favorite movie. Can we give him a call and see if he's alright?
I lent this movie to Alex Tong, and he like when he watched it, he was like, "That was so good. That was so good. So messed up, but so good." Oh God, I love him. But yeah. And what does he do, dude?
He do.
First of all, before he poops it out, he goes to a pharmacy and straight up stabs a pharmacist to steal laxatives so he can poop it out. Because he overhears Lee Byung-hun talking about how there's a tracker in him. Which I don't know why he would talk about how there's a tracker in him right next to him. Yeah. I don't know. It's dumb. It's really dumb. I went from loving this movie and thinking like, oh, this is a really good movie. I'm surprised they made a movie this graphic, this good, to seeing all the little plot holes now that we're actually talking about it. It's
still a good movie, though.
Lee Byung-hun comes in, saves the day for that pharmacist guy. Well, I think. I don't know. They don't really go into detail. I'm assuming he saved the day because... I don't know.
I think he does.
I think he does. The pharmacist guy, when he gets in, he has like a stab in his neck.
Oh, yeah, because he says on the phone, like, oh, you can either save him or catch me or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, you can either catch me, because he still had it in his body at that point, or if you're too late, the pharmacist's gonna die, because the guy's bleeding out on the floor of his pharmacy.
Yeah, and that's like the main character's whole thing. It's like he's trying to like, save all the people that this serial killer guy is hurting, but at the same time torture him.
Yeah. I don't think his motive is to save people, but I think that's like the biggest thing about the morality of the movie, where it's like, you might be getting what you want by torturing this guy, but you're also putting everybody else's life in danger.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a very big moral movie, which at the end I want you to read the Bible verse again.
Yeah, dude, that was like
it fits so
haunting.
well with it. But anyways, he poops it out, beats up this guy in the bathroom, and then forces the pill down that guy's throat, which is disgusting to me because he just pooped it out. You know for a fact he didn't wash it.
That's something I wanted to talk about is when he first shoves the tracker down the guy's throat, he pulls out like a ketchup packet and he rips it open and it's like milk. He just had like a ketchup packet full of milk. I don't understand. Is that like a thing in Korea?
Maybe it's like creamer or something? I don't know. Why would he have it in his pocket? Yeah. That was almost more disgusting than the rest of the movie.
Also, he must have... I don't know if this is a plot point or something we missed because we were talking, but he had to have gone into... Because it's the first scene he puts the tracker in him, right?
Yeah.
Either he went into it knowing that he wasn't going to kill him and he was going to put the tracker in him, or he just had the tracker on him already. But isn't there a scene where he's talking to his friend and he gets the tracker from him? Or from the police detective?
Yeah, so I guess he was planning it.
I think he was planning it, and then he had a moment where he was like, I should just kill this guy now. That's when he lifted up the rock, and then he decided not to.
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense because how are they going to get the tracker thing into him?
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wish that he made that decision on a whim. And he's like...
Well, maybe he had something against killing. He didn't want to, like, stoop to his level in a way. But at the same time, he just wanted to, like, make him hurt and, like, have revenge. But then he kind of struggles with that revenge at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And he does end up killing him. That's why he has, like, that breakdown at the end.
Yeah.
But dude, he kills him in the most satisfying way.
It's satisfying, but it's also really messed up. But then you remember...
It's kind of dorky.
At the beginning, he goes to that guy's family, the serial killer's family. Mm-hmm. And they're, like, you know, upset that he exists, basically. And they bring up that thing where it's like, but if the life insurance holder dies, the family gets the money, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you can tell, like, they're kind of thinking about, hey, maybe we should just kill him. Yeah. We could get money for killing him, you know? But, no, it's a really messed up way to kill him. It's very dorky, but it's very creative.
So what happens?
So
we'll get to that, because we still have quite a bit of ways to go.
He's tugging at your strings.
I'm tugging at your strings. I'm keeping you
yanking my chain.
Yeah.
You, Michael, is yanking our chain.
But anyways, now the tracker thing isn't the serial killer.
Right.
Like, he's anywhere. He could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So what does the serial killer do? He goes to the family of the wife.
Oh, yeah.
And he beats the dad almost to death, permanently blinds him.
God.
By hitting him in the head with a dumbbell multiple times. And then he kidnaps the sister. I'm pretty sure he kills the sister because...
we never find out what happened to her.
We never find out what happens to the sister. He probably killed her.
Definitely did.
You know? But, definitely.
So why is he just casually, like...
Well,
have problem, like...
It's
you would think he has problems killing, but then he just kills a sister who did literally nothing except for be...
No, the serial killer killed
the
sister of the wife.
The serial killer, he just kills basically because he's bored, he's got nothing else going on.
I thought you were saying that... Okay, what I thought you guys were saying is I thought the guy, the hunter, killed the serial killer's sister.
No, the serial killer killed the hunter's sister-in-law and father-in-law.
Oh.
We'll beat the father-in-law.
Yeah, because it's like...
So messed up, dude.
The serial killer's just killing. Like, he doesn't really have a motive. He's just kind of... they're all, like, women, of course. But he's just kind of doing his thing. Issues. And then once the hunter guy steps in and starts hunting him, then the serial killer kind of takes action and starts killing with a purpose. Like, he's trying to get revenge, in a sense, or trying to get the hunter to stay away from him. So he's like, oh, if you're going to keep following me, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm going to kill the girl's sister. I'm just going to keep attacking. Because he knows that... Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's his family now.
The serial killer's plan at this point is right when he got rid of the tracker, I don't know if you saw this part, because I'm sure we talked over it, but right when he got rid of the tracker, he called the detectives. He said, I'm going to turn myself in, I just need to do something first. So what he did is he went and he attacked the family. Yeah. So after he kidnapped the sister... He, like, calls the detective again, and he's like, hey, I'm on my way to the police station. I'm going to turn myself in. And the detective guy's like, oh, what'd you do to whatever the sister's name was? He's like, you'll find out later, you know? And then, dude, it's the coolest thing ever.
So cheesy, but it's so cool.
It's so cheesy, but cool. The serial killer's standing in the middle of the road.
Just covered in blood.
Covered in blood, has a knife in his hand. There's the police station. He's covered in blood. He's, like, giving up. So Lee Byung-hun opens up his driver door, backs up and smashes his driver door off of like a big cement block.
Yeah.
So now his car doesn't have a driver's door. So he speeds up and the police are running out to go search the vehicle. He's speeding up and he drifts.
He Tokyo drifts right in front of the cops and then basically hits the guy right on his driver's side, so he flies into the where there's no door. He flies into the car and he just kidnaps him, just takes off.
He takes off.
Wait. So
here,
it's like
the serial killer's right here. There's a cement block here. The hunter, he pulls up, just rips his door off, comes shooting. Tokyo drifts. The serial killer flies into the car and he just shoots off. And just kidnaps the guy.
So why would the serial killer want to turn himself in?
So he stops getting tortured by the hunter guy.
So the serial killer is like, okay, I'd rather be in prison for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Is there no death penalty in South Korea?
I'm sure there is.
Maybe they just send him up to North Korea.
Yeah,
gosh, honestly, I mean, Because, dude, he's a mass serial killer. Like,
but then at that point, you'd rather
yeah.
them kill you than just torture you and keep letting it go.
Yeah.
Rather just
You
get
know?
the lethal injection and die or whatever.
Or you could just stop killing people.
Well, first of all,
Yeah,
okay,
or just not kill people in the
how
first
did
place.
how did the hunter even know that the serial killer was at the police station?
Because he
was on the phone with the guy.
But
the
then
detective,
what's the point of getting rid of the pill if he's already just going to tell him where he's going?
Well, because at that point he thought that there was nothing the hunter could do.
Mm-hmm.
At that point he thought the police are going to arrest me and the hunter's going to lose. You know? Now the hunter's whole like in-law family is dead, and you know, he's going to get. I'm sure the hunter has to deal with like recoil of like, oh, you just tortured this dude, you just killed this guy, you're responsible for all of these things happening. I'm sure he's going to go to prison for something. You know? But at the same time, I don't know, because the detectives could have arrested him, you know, at the in-laws' house.
Yeah, that's true.
But whatever. He takes the serial killer back to the serial killer's own home and sets up this big guillotine thing. So that way, the serial killer's head is under the guillotine.
His hands are tied behind his back, and he's tied to the guillotine, so he can't move.
Yeah, so he can't move. So he's talking to the serial killer, and he's like, you know, explaining, like, the serial killer's like, it's fun, isn't it? Like, you have a taste of blood.
Mm-hmm.
You like doing this, so you're a monster now. And the guy's like, I'm gonna kill you. The serial killer acts like he's all scared and stuff. And he's like, no, don't kill me. Let me go, please. I'll pay for my sins. Blah blah blah. And then Lee Byung-hun, that beautiful man, starts crying, and he asks the serial killer, he's like, are you scared? The serial killer like looks up at him, like basically, you know, in short term says, bruh, no. You know. So Lee Byung-hun grabs a rope and like puts it in his mouth, and then it's shown that like the rope is connected to the doorknob.
So the rope comes,
and then there's a rope from the doorknob that's holding the guillotine up.
Okay.
So if that door opens,
basically
the guillotine will fall and cut his head off.
And he has the rope in his mouth. So if he opens his mouth, it comes out and the guillotine falls. So he can't open his mouth to talk. And if the door opens, he dies. So
his family gets home. The serial killer's family.
Yeah.
His family gets home, and they're like, let's go, whatever, for whatever reason, let's go to this room.
He starts screaming to tell him not to come in, but it's just gargled screaming. So they're like, oh, he probably needs help or something, or we should go in.
So he's just sitting there gargled screaming, like, because he can't open his mouth. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, what? The door's stuck. So eventually they break open the door, and the guillotine comes and cuts off his head.
And his head rolls
over to the family, and they start screaming and whatever. Yeah. And the whole time that pill's right where the serial killer's body was. Mm-hmm. So Lee Byung-hun puts in his earbuds, and he's listening to the family like scream. And it's like, and then he like, it's a beautiful scene at the end.
Yeah, I think it's
where Lee Byung-hun's like walking, and he just starts crying, like he starts breaking down.
He's just walking, and it's just a shot of him walking, and the camera's kind of moving with him, and it's very like blue tinted. It looks like burning. And he's just like straight faced listening to this horrible thing happen, and then like all of his actions and like everything, every choice of the movie, everything, that his wife dying, his sister-in-law, like all of the actions, they just like weigh on him so heavily, and just has this like breaking point, and he just starts crying, and then he stops walking, and the camera keeps pulling back, and it gets like a little shaky to kind of show the emotion, and he gets out of focus, and he's just standing there, just having this meltdown in the middle of the street. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's like that last shot is what makes the movie so
greasy.
The last shot
like,
makes up for everything.
There's so
in the
much
movie.
emotion, and just like, because it's like you're for this like whole like horrible ride, and you like the whole time you're like, should he be doing this, like, and like you don't realize it at the time, but the character is going through like the exact same thought process that you are, of like he's regretting his actions, like he technically shouldn't be doing this, like he's basically lowering himself to the same point that the serial killer's at, and the serial killer kind of makes him realize that by the end before he kills him.
Yeah.
And everything just comes crumbling down and before him, because like literally now he has nothing. Like he had his wife, and then she dies, so he's like, okay, now my life is hunting down this serial killer, and he hunts him down to the point where it's just like he just can't like physically do it anymore. Like it's like starting to take a toll on him, so he has to kill him, but then he's just basically the serial killer now, so it's like, oh mama.
So now
it's real heavy.
Read that Bible verse.
Well, back where we picked up. Be not envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them. For their hearts devise violence, and their lips talk of trouble. Wow.
Hey, just like when he covered up the guy's mouth.
What a coincidence to pick that.
Dude, that is the greasiest movie, but it's so interesting. Like,
It's
so disgusting,
it's
but
such
Like I said, it's something that I don't think I'll ever be able to watch again, but I just like want to, because like just the thought of like, it's just that build up.
It's a movie you have to watch with a group
release.
of people.
In a way, yeah.
Like, so everybody can be like,
But it's not super complicated too, because like we were talking through some of it, whether it was like you catching me up or just us talking about other Korean movies, and or just kind of goofing, and we were still able to like follow it like well, and even like there's subtitles and all that. But one thing I wanted to mention before we forget, I know we're kind of at the end here, or at least we talked about the whole movie, is we weren't exactly sure, but it feels very I want to say reminiscent. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. Like paying homage to Memories of Murder. Like a lot of similar shot compositions.
Which that's a movie that Ricky should watch.
That one is about a serial killer, but it's not violent.
No, it's not
really
violent at
good.
all. Like the most violent parts is there's like a couple
fist
of
fights and stuff.
There's a couple of fist fights. There's a part where a guy's getting a gun held to him. Yeah. I mean,
a bunch of like flying kicks that are pretty sick.
There's some deaths and stuff like that. There's some dead bodies.
We'll tell you when
it is
to close
about
your
a
eyes.
serial killer. Well, I don't even because, I mean, the most blood in the movie is when that guy at the very end, like he has the gun held to him. And it's not like he was shot or anything. He's just punched in the mouth. So
but yeah, there's like
bleeding.
a lot of similar shots, a lot of similar like locations and stuff. And Memories of Murder was 03 and this was 010, so it's possible that it was kind of inspired. 010, whatever. It's 2010.
Kind of 2010.
2010. Yeah.
010.
Oh Dark 30.
The 010.
But I don't know if Memories of Murder was big enough for it to be kind of like this inspirational thing.
It was definitely big enough. In Korea, Memories of Murder was a big deal.
Okay, I'm glad, because that movie's amazing.
That movie is amazing, which we should get Ricky to watch that movie.
Yeah, we'll do that in April because we ordered it from Criterion, so the Criterions come out in April.
It's
they come
made
out
by
on
the guy
April
who
20th.
made Parasite. It's the guy who made Parasite. It's his second movie that he ever made.
Oh, okay.
Which I have his first movie, which we should watch his first movie because it's really fun.
Yeah, I want to.
It's so much fun.
I really like the first time. When I watched Parasite...
you actually watched it?
Michael told me that Parasite was not violent. It wasn't bloody at all. He told me it was just like a funny movie. So I went and watched it. In the first half of the movie, I was like, this is a great movie. I was like, I'm having so much fun.
It takes such a U-turn.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was like, ooh, they're like sneaking around. They're screwing over the rich guys. Yeah. It's fun. And then just, it got disgusting.
That's what's so fun about the movie is you don't know that's going to happen. Because literally how I saw it was Kyle was like, hey, I want to watch this movie. I heard it's good, but I don't know anything about it. I've just seen the poster. And I was like, that's a good idea. We should see it. So we went to see it at the film festival. And
it was so disgusting.
I had the worst seating ever. I literally sat, if Michael was the screen, I was right here and I had to look up like this. My neck hurt. I had a headache. It was horrible. But like I said, it's that exact feeling of you're just like, oh, this movie's like, it's interesting, I didn't really know what it would be, but it's kind of fun. They're just kind of
Peaches montage.
Yeah. And then it just takes that sharp turn. You hate it?
It's so disgusting, dude.
Okay, it is pretty brutal with the stabbing.
It was so disgusting, dude. And like when they dropped the rock on the kid's head, dude.
It's brutal.
I still think about that sometimes, dude. It just disturbs me.
That was... Oh, I was going to say that was the other thing that reminded me of Bong Joon-ho, but Parasite came out last year, never mind. But there's a scene when he first goes to kill the serial killer, he lifts up a rock and he's about to throw it down on the guy's head, but he doesn't.
Oh, so nasty. Whatever. Move on.
Move on. But no, I definitely want to do more Korean movies in the future. Ian's very big into Italian cinema. I'm very big into Korean cinema.
I'm big into Korean too.
You're not big into Korean like me. Like, come on. I'm
not big Korea. Well, it's 12. Do we have anything else to say?
I mean, we can just start closing it off. But I have a lot of movies lined up for Michael recommends. That are Korean. I'm trying to get all Park Chan-wook's filmography because I love Park Chan-wook as a director. But yeah, I mean, I saw The Devil. It was my 4th time seeing The Devil.
I saw it for the first time.
Yeah. We should do The Devil all the time sometime.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Devil all the time? You haven't seen The Devil all the time,
I have not.
I'm surprised because Robert Pattinson's in that movie.
I know. Well,
but yeah. For first rating, I forgot what you gave it on Letterboxd. What did you give it on Letterboxd?
I think I gave it an 8 just because that ending was so powerful, but I don't know if it's ever going to change because, like I said, I don't think I'm ever going to rewatch it.
I feel like my rating went down a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what I put as my rating.
I think you gave it a 10 out of 10.
Did I?
For original watch.
Oh. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the podcast. Hopefully in the future, first impressions will be a little bit smoother. But hopefully we're not watching movies that disgust Ian so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Richards.
But that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.